Tim.
Nope.
It was me calling you, Tim.
Oh, I left my phone on silent.
Is a red
So if
record?
everybody would go over the agenda, I
look at
have one
it.
addition to the agenda that proposed before we approve the agenda.
Does that look right?
I move that the authority board go into a closed meeting after the conclusion of today's regular meeting to discuss the attorney's confidential opinion as is provided by Section 8H of the Open Meetings Act, and that the attorney be delegated or designated to act as the authority's secretary for purposes of preparing the minutes of this closed session. Can I get a second for that?
I'll support it.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and then do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Support.
Okay. If you would look at the minutes, I think everybody knows, the camera was not working. Were they able to ever get it back, Sue, or was it?
No,
Okay,
no.
so you just kind of picked up these minutes by,
Mike did these meetings. Mike did these minutes. so,
Okay.
Yep.
so I know there were some comments made at the last meeting. If anybody wants to update those, I know, Tim, you had a few, but.
On the minutes from before, you
Yeah.
mean? So are you saying they're not in here?
They're not in there, no.
Well, I did. I think I did bring them. I gotta remember how we.
All he picked up in the minutes was there was a request to modify the presented minutes before approval of the regular meeting. I don't think he had any specifics.
So do you want to go over the last meeting minutes and where we discussed those?
Sure.
So under old business, it reads, Hodges mentioned, I don't know if you see it about halfway down the paragraph.
I don't think she has the minutes.
I don't have them, but
from-
that's okay.
The sentence reads, Hodges mentioned the $50,000 cash on hand. He expressed concerns, oh, I already scratched it out, now I gotta read it, of not being responsible, and that we need to grow a fund balance for the future, for future equipment purchases. I have crossed out of not being responsible, so it would read, he expressed concerns that we need to grow a fund balance for future equipment purchases.
Okay.
So the of not being responsible and was crossed out. And then two sentences later, it reads, for our district, we need to be responsible for our citizens to have assets available to replace equipment, replacement as necessary. And I have replacement crossed out, so it reads, for our district, we need to be responsible for our citizens to have assets available to replace equipment as necessary. And then in the next two sentences later, it starts out, Pasquale added, it would be useful to be in a situation where we don't have to borrow, comma, having funds set aside.
So you're just putting the comma in there?
Yep.
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 So there's
That's all we
just a
have
comma
there.
in there.
And I think that was it.
Okay, so we'll make those additions to these minutes. And are the rest of the minutes satisfactory to everybody? Any changes?
I think it's all right, I guess, but I just wonder if you need to put a comment or a comment in here somewhere that says that, these minutes are being done from recollection of the meeting, rather than,
Yeah.
because the tape didn't work, and there was nobody taking meeting minutes. So, I just wonder if we should.
It's probably a good idea,
Make
so,
a note somewhere, then
Okay.
okay, you got that, Sue?
Yep.
Okay, based on that, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I'd make that motion.
I have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, the financial report. I have a couple questions, Sue. Do we pay workman's comp a couple times a year?
Yes.
Okay, so what, is it 2 doses? Because I see we're already at 52%.
Actually, normally they bill us before the start of the fiscal year, and I pay it out of a prepaid expense account.
Okay,
So I probably brought that forward, and then we got billed again. Yeah, they bill us, I think, quarterly,
okay,
so
because we're already at 52%.
that would be probably correct.
Okay. And then, we've got a pretty hefty amount going toward miscellaneous expense. What's covered under miscellaneous?
A lot of times it's subscriptions to different organizations. I can tell you exactly what's in the account right now. Emergency reporting, 1668. You want to explain what that is,
The
Ron?
emergency reporting, yeah, that's the system that we use online for reporting the fires and
Okay.
things like that, so. Yeah. That's what the
And then there was an
emergency
NFPA for $175. Emergency reporting was $1668. And then we paid Kent County Emergency $266. So,
And so I noticed that under professional services, we put BioCare under that. I think maybe either next year, or if we can still do it now, maybe we come up with a separate designation for that,
Sure.
because that's gonna be an annual thing, correct, Ron?
Correct.
I think we ought to isolate that instead of under professional
okay,
services.
you can even create a contractual account or something like that, or something. We pay every year.
Does Biggs Hauserman help you with categorizing that? Because that all has to be set up for the audit.
I can ask for appropriating account from them. They don't normally help with the chart of accounts.
But I think it would be good to look at that separately every year to know what that that is.
What's NIGO half-high tie?
That's a fire. That's a fireman.
Well, that's a fire, okay.
Okay, anybody have any other comments, questions?
Go on the checking account, or checks, on the 317 check, 3717, for light, low light and power, it's got under the repairs and maintenance of the building for $33,360. I was just wondering what that.
That was a check for the phone project.
Okay, that makes
Yep.
sense, but it doesn't,
Yep,
okay.
I have it right here if you'd like to see.
No, that's fine. I
Okay.
just was wondering, because it's quite a bit, and just wanted to know what.
Yep. I think we paid, like $16,900 for the phone project so far for this building, so. You authorized up to $18,000 for that, so.
No, that's fine. It just,
Yep,
you gotta recognize where it's coming out of. Well, he went and got something for his fire out of his own pocket.
Oh,
And then the fire authority or whatever reimbursed him.
oh.
Okay, any other questions, comments? I hear a motion to approve the financial report.
So moved.
I have a second?
I'll support it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we open the floor to public comment.
Katie Rademacher. This is my second visit. I was here last time. I know the group is composed of a couple of different people, but to recap briefly, I read a statement as a former firefighter for Lowell and asked for an answer to a question, and I was just here to see if that was available at this point in time.
Katie, we have discussed it at length. We are going to close the meeting at the end to formally discuss it among the board, so there will be a response here shortly.
Okay.
We just haven't had a chance to meet since then, so.
Okay, I appreciate that.
We're well aware of it and concerned about it. We'll address it.
If the hiring decisions are made with the conviction and seriousness that you'd expect they would be in an industry as serious as this, you'd think that explaining them would be something that would be easy to do, easy to be backed up by whomever made those decisions. So I do appreciate that I will trust that you're taking it seriously. I've had some back and forth with Peter about it, and this will be my last visit. You won't hear from me again about it. So I'm hoping that answer can be delivered in a timely manner then.
Yes,
in the interest of everybody not wasting any more time on it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I will exit now. Everybody have a good one.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, under old business, Mr. Letzman will lead with you. Is anything further on the firehouse lease?
I submitted it, rather than going to the attorney, I gave it to Mr. Burns and let him look at the substance of the proposal that we made, and I know he has submitted it to the attorney. I got some casual comments from them, but I have nothing formal in response, good, bad, or indifferent, so
Okay.
we're awaiting their response.
So Sue, let's table that next month.
Okay.
Do you need a motion or anything?
No,
Just, okay.
Sue, it's on your plate now. I think through the minutes that you and I discussed it, that we wanted to talk about the investment program for both the two funds, one for the $50,000
Okay.
fund balance and the other one for any capital overrun balance.
Our audit hasn't started yet, but it will start probably any day. Actually, the city audit is going on right now. But it appears to me, it looks like you're gonna be about 25,000 to the good again this time. So your fund balance will go from, it's currently like 164, maybe up to 195. So then what you're asking is at the end of this, when this audit is complete, you want two different funds set up, correct?
Correct.
Okay. 50,000 for daily operating, and then the monthly payments, I'm assuming, are gonna go into that account as well, just gonna continue as normal, and the township payments will go into that account, right?
I believe.
Keep it as is.
I believe what the board's intent is the two balances to have it in some kind of interest-bearing accounts, which would probably be separated from the general balance, I would assume, and I would think we need to bring our accountant into that to see how that best sets up.
Okay. You basically, at the end of the audit, you want the two accounts designated, fund balance accounts designated, one as operating and one as your equipment reserve.
I would think so, isn't that?
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
What it
Yeah.
is? Okay.
When that, as far as the operating fund balance, okay, it wants to be at 50, but at the end of each year, do you take anything over that, move it over into the other fund
Yes,
balance?
yes.
Yeah.
Once a year?
The
do that?
surplus at the end of the year.
And that could be even in a time deposit, you know, something at fuel higher interest rate. That was the way I understood it.
Yeah.
Am I correct in thinking?
Yeah, that's where you're talking about the interest-bearing account.
Yeah. I don't know if you can get an interest-bearing account on the regular,
Well,
because it's just
the
your regular
account
checking
we have it
account.
in right now, it's like a hybrid account at Huntington. And we have a lot of fees as an authority because we have direct deposits and ACH and, you know, federal tax deposit, that's all done ACH. So we don't earn much interest on it because it covers the fees, you know, what we do. You know, because we
The
owe.
cost of having it.
Exactly, so, But the other option, and you might want to consider adopting like an investment policy. I'm sure the townships have one and the city has one. And adopting some type of investment policy, and you know, right now the Kent County investment pool is earning like 0.986, and I like to.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, we're getting
I'm
rich there.
out of order.
There's some time deposits that are paying more than that right now, too.
Yeah. Yep.
There
The only
goes
thing
our
is if you-
authority vacation.
Yeah.
0.9%, wow.
Well, this was gonna be
If we know when we're
That's
gonna,
right.
story of my life.
sorry, we know when we're gonna need,
Well, and that's just
Money
it. You know,
for
it's got to be
equipment
liquid.
purchases.
I can't have
we
it
can
tied
get a
up.
time deposit, you know, that came due by the time we needed that for equipment purchases. And that's how you're gonna get your best
Yes.
interest rate.
Yep.
Like a 3-month, 6-month CD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, they got, I asked Rhonda about it a little bit, and the chemical bank gave her a price, or 1.4 for 120 days and 1.6 for 12 months for the CDs.
Is there a minimum?
I didn't really say that, but taking her comments, I would doubt this, you know. I mean, there's gonna be a minimum, but not too high a minimum.
Yeah.
50,000 would certainly qualify.
Yeah, I would,
But we probably need to adopt an investment policy and have certain banks that you know, that you.
that you're allowed to use, yeah.
Yes,
That's
so-
the-
Well then, let's table this till next month. If then you'll get together with our auditor, make a presentation of where we can put this in, and then we will move as a board to authorize the deposits into those
Or do
two
you prefer
accounts.
local banks?
We prefer the ones with the highest interest
Yeah,
rate.
Mercantile normally has done very well too, so.
Usually put in with the local banks, but we can put in as many as we want too.
Yeah, well, it gives a few.
Yeah.
At the end of each year, who's paying the best for CDs?
So we'll table that to next month then, and then if you can present that. Okay. Ron, where are we on the repairs?
They just finished up, last week or the week before with the tuck pointing, the pillar repairs, everything out front, and repainting a little bit out front that they did. So the ceiling of the building is complete. So Mark Batchelor has fulfilled his obligation. I'm just waiting to see the invoice on that now.
You didn't find anything?
Nope. And we talked to the guys, a few of us, numerous times while they were out there working, and now they weren't finding anything out of the ordinary, nothing to be overly concerned about, so, nope. So that portion of it is complete.
So, where are we as far as anything else? Have you coordinated with Virgins on the
We have not had a chance
handicap
to go
entry?
to with Virgins and talk to them about the grant on the front portion of this yet. No, we have not had a chance to get up there yet. So that is definitely on the list.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions on that? Okay, you keep the floor, you get the, talk about engine number 6.
Engine number 6. All right, well, Corey's been working a lot on this as well, being as he is our purchasing agent. We have gotten the specs together. They have gone out for bid for the tender. The last we had heard from the brokering company, they were willing to, even without flying up there and looking at the engine six that we currently have, and they're throwing an offer out of $50,000 on this truck if they were to purchase it right now, as is essentially sight unseen, it sounds like, because clearly they haven't been here yet. They'd have to fly up from Alabama. So
If they came up, could they go up or down?
I'm thinking if anything, they would go up. You know,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, I mean,
When you look
they're
at-
going sight unseen, throwing out a $50,000 figure at us, so I think once they were to get here, do a visual on the truck, potentially it could go up. I don't think I'd get too excited about that happening, but yeah, clearly the possibility is there for that to increase.
Okay.
So we have, the bids went out and they are due back to us, to City Hall, by the 25th of September. It's a sealed bid type thing, and they all have to be in by 4 p.m. on the 25th with a public opening at 4:30 right here at the station. So that's the latest and greatest on Engine 6. And
Corey, were there any questions, concerns, or anything from any of the vendors?
Not yet. Emails went out, what was it, last week? Thursday? Last week, Thursday. 4 different vendors, and I am yet to receive any questions on that, so.
Was our bid considered a pretty standard for that type of equipment?
Yeah, it wasn't too far off from a lot of other trucks. I mean, we did pull specs from similar trucks to be able to build ours, so it wasn't something that was very far off, which was nice, something to actually at least start from, to go from.
Any questions? Okay, the next thing was we tabled the meeting room furniture, so I added that to the new business, or old business, so.
Still us.
So, Sue, you were gonna contact a friend of yours?
She couldn't find that company at all.
Okay. Well, we did receive all our chairs at Lowell Light and Power. We ordered 20 of them over there, and very pleased. The assembly was easy. I say that speaking personally because I put all 20 of them together. You get the first 2 done, and the next 18 are really simple. They seem to be durable. We've used them for the board meeting already once over there. Everybody seems to like them. They're comfortable. So I've got the prices tallied in here. It was $149 per chair at 25 chairs for $3,725 is what we'd be looking at, just for chairs, no tables.
And you're looking at doing 25 here?
Correct.
What do we have here right now? About that same amount?
No, actually, we have more than that. We're probably closer to the 30, a little over the 30 mark.
So I guess we're at a do or don't stage at this point. Anybody have any comments?
Yes, we just wonder how necessary are they? Are these really falling apart or?
Yes. You have to pick and choose to get one.
Essentially, we got what we paid for. We bought used chairs at a close-out type sale, and we got what we paid for. They served the purpose for this long, but with all the different entities that are coming in here and having trainings and meetings and everything else, and as much time as our crew spends here for trainings and meetings, we felt that it was time to change it up. And
are you going to get rid of these chairs then?
oh yes.
Might be able to get a couple
bring
bucks.
them to your house.
I don't need any.
Yeah, and we may be able to, you know, Craigslist, throw them on Craigslist and get a couple bucks a piece out of them, whatever. We'll certainly try that before we just
If
start
that
chairs.
all else fails, set them out by the road with free on it.
Or $1, and people are just gonna
You
take
put
them.
free on stuff, it just goes away.
Yep. But,
Just do it before a rainstorm.
yeah, yeah.
Is 25 gonna be enough then? Or are you thinking about holding a few of these chairs just to, in case of overflow or something? I mean,
We have other chairs for overflow purpose. They're not clearly gonna be the same, but we do have other chairs for overflow purposes. 25 is what we would like to have because of our training room and the amount of personnel that we have to make it so that everybody's in the same chair. You grab a chair, you know it's identical to the one sitting next to you or the one across the room from you, so.
Did you say there was a guarantee on these?
I believe it was a 1-year guarantee. I have to verify that. Yeah, there is a warranty on it.
And the total again, Ron, was?
For 25 chairs, $3,725 at $149 a piece.
Do I hear a motion for purchase?
I was gonna ask, where are we gonna take it out of the fund, or, you know, out of the fund, what column or where would it come out of?
Yeah, we kind of.
Probably repairs and maintenance building. There's 15,000 budgeted in that account.
That sounds it.
Do we have anything against that?
No.
So we take it out of that account, I guess.
What is isn't that what the tuck pointing and stuff comes out of too?
That would be coming out of that, I would imagine, yes.
That wasn't budgeted for, was it? Or,
The tuck point.
I mean, that was something,
We originally said that we would take it out of the building maintenance.
Yeah.
What was that?
The number coming to mind was about 8,000, I thought.
Okay. And then what did the doors come out of, or the new doors? Have we been billed for that yet?
Oh, that's all done and taken care of, and that was in the last budget.
That was last fiscal
Well,
year.
okay.
Yeah, that was,
So that's the last of the major repairs. We haven't done the window. The windows are still up in the air. So it looks like we have enough to cover it if we want to do that.
I'll move the purchase as proposed.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Order your chairs.
thank you, we will do that.
So 3725 was the total?
Correct.
Is that with tax?
Tax exempt.
Thanks, exempt.
What company?
I'll get you all that information.
Okay, okay,
I think I gave you a copy of this form as well, didn't it, on this paper, didn't I?
okay,
That I have a breakdown for you. No, wait, that's not it, never mind.
okay,
That's for the truck. I'll get you all the information and the quote, I have it in an email.
okay.
Okay, we go to new business. Under this, Ron asked me, we did get a grant, and it wasn't the full grant on the pickup truck, which we use for wildfires. So we do have $11,000 grant,
Actually, the grant was actually 10,000.
10,000. So
Yep.
let him go over what our status is then right now.
So again, we went to our purchasing guy, Corey, and he did a little sheet up for you that I handed out to everyone. This is done through my deal, and so everything is done pre-bid through the state, so that all the municipalities and everybody can utilize that program without having to go out for a lot of individual bids and specking things out. So essentially what you do is you go on there, you design the vehicle that you want, that would fit your fleet, which is what Corey spent some time doing. And then they give you the quote that everybody else is gonna get on it. It's a Chevrolet 2500 Silverado double cab four-wheel drive with a trailer tow package. Excuse me, which for us is essential because we're gonna be using it to haul the safety trailer and the air trailer and things like that. So the price on that was $29,187. When we get ready to equip it with the skid unit that we wanna put into the back, the basic price on the skid unit, you can see is $5,950. But we try to simplify things a little bit, make it easier for us so we can load up and get ready to go to the next one. So there's been an electric rewind for the hose reel added, a different type of a nozzle, an onboard foam system, which in essence will allow us to use less water because with the product we use, it just goes in there and kind of snuffs it out, takes care of business quite quickly. Then you've got $350 in shipping for a total of $7,665 there. Of course, it has to be equipped with the light bar and some hand tool accessories, which is another $1,200. And if we look at the grant from the Lowell Community Fund, that's for $10,000. Then we had the sale of the old vehicles, the old Suburban and the old ambulance, which is, I think was about $4,300 if I remember correctly, Sue. That's what we had on there. So essentially what that would leave us out of pocket is $23,752 to get a brand new brush truck, all set up and ready to go.
Was there a skid on the old pickup?
There is on the pickup that we have now, yes, a skid unit on that one, but that one would stay in service and be utilized as a brush truck as well. So I guess what we're asking is if there's a way that we can pull off coming up with $23,752 to get a new pickup truck and get it in service and be ready for the season.
How old's the other brush truck we have?
1998? I think it's a 98.
How often is that used?
Almost weekly, for different types of functions. We used it last week Wednesday when we had the structure fire out on Hilton. It brought the air supply trailer out to us. It gets used for taking the boat to different events. It gets used to taking the air trailer to mutual aid different departments. And of course it gets used for brush fires as well.
So what happens if we get a new truck? How often does this other one get used?
We're going to continue to use the brush truck that we have now as well. So when we go to these pub ed events and we take the safety trailer or something, we would utilize the newer truck even more, just because show off your new equipment, let the people know where their tax dollars are going and things like that. Keep this one back here for backup calls, rescue calls, water rescue, whatever we gotta do, brush fires.
Also services as a truck, take access to class or school, that type of thing.
Yep.
As opposed to using their personal vehicle or taking another truck.
It's cheaper to do that than pay mileage, so.
Remind me, we went in for a full grant on that, didn't we?
We went in for, I believe, 37?
37 is what I wrote the
37,000.
grant for, and they approved us for 10. So,
Did they say how they came to 10?
basically by
I think a lot of the funds were allocated to a different project.
That's, you usually have a good number of projects, and
Right.
there usually isn't enough money to cover everything.
Correct, yeah.
They don't have to cover everything, just ours.
There you go.
So we also,
I like your attitude.
So is that a crew cab? The
yes.
double cab? Is that what they call a crew
So
cab?
it's way
it's
to
a
even-
full four-door?
Yep.
So it's a way to transport more guys to scene as well, as opposed to the normal brush truck only seats 2 guys. This can seat 3 to 4 guys in it. So again, versatility is the idea of the truck, different aspects.
When is the next grant coming up? Anything coming down the pike soon?
I think we have to make a decision on this particular grant. It's my understanding we have to utilize these funds by the end of September. I don't know if we have to at that
It's
time.
use it or lose it?
Yeah.
Essentially, I think that's what it is.
Is that how that
Maybe
works?
Dave can shed some light on that for us.
I can't remember if that's, you know, there could have been a new rule too. It's been a little while since I've been on the board. Could be, they could set whatever requirements they want.
Oh, that's true, and they could do it specific to the project
They could,
also.
yeah, they could.
But we don't know any of
And
that.
did they actually put it in writing, that it had to be done by the end of September?
They need a report back by the end of the month here on how the money's being spent.
On how the money is being
Yeah.
spent?
Yeah,
But did
no
they
one
say,
did it.
they
They
said
said-
by the end of September?
Yeah. No one-
How it's being spent, maybe not if it's been spent.
Part of it. Of course, it's one of those, if you don't.
This is the
spend it-
plan on how we're gonna
Yeah.
spend it.
Correct.
Well, when the next grant cycle comes around, if we haven't allocated those funds to the actual project, then we're not eligible to apply for anything else again until these funds are allocated. So,
What's the time frame if, from the date of order of a truck?
That I don't have offhand. I'm when it's going to show up.
So, jumping to the tanker, those bids are gonna get opened up, and they're gonna expect us to move on that in fairly short order.
Yep.
Do we know?
so with that, if you don't mind, we would have to pay, in this fiscal year, this budget year, we'd have to do the chassis. And which would be, we figured roughly about 100,000.
Yep.
So the remainder would be into the next budget.
Okay.
And it's gonna take
Almost a year.
almost,
to build the truck.
yeah, you're real close to 11 months to get the truck built.
That
So,
helps.
does that
Yep.
figure out where you were going with that?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well,
So
for
roughly-
24 grand, in my opinion, you can't really buy much these days when it comes to rigs and stuff. I mean,
So based on Sue's back of the envelope calculations, we probably have roughly $120,000 in equipment right now, funds, correct? You had 165 less of 50, so it's 115.
Right, right.
Basically.
Yeah.
Expect to, this current budget is gonna be over 25, right?
She thinks it's gonna be somewhere,
Our last fiscal, I believe we'll have a surplus around 20 to 25,000.
I heard our fund balance is 195,000, just shy of 200,000.
Our
That's
current
what I
fund
heard.
balance is 164, I thought.
Fund balance up to 195,000.
That is-
Where did I get that?
Okay, that is, after, when the audit's done and they determine what our surplus is, it's added to the fund balance, and then it would be like 195.
Okay,
That's everything, though, that's the 50,000, that's everything.
yep,
Okay,
so you draw 50 off of that, you got
Right.
145, when's our
Right.
next township payment due, or municipal payments due?
You're normally invoiced quarterly, so like September,
So
so
we
we're
have-
in September, yeah.
I don't think cash flow is gonna be an issue on this and the chassis if we move
Well, how
forward on
long-
those projects.
First, you gotta get the truck in,
Correct.
and what kind of delay is there on getting the skid and all the equipment?
That shouldn't be too much of a delay as far as coming behind it.
Do we put that together, or do we have somebody put that
The
together?
skid unit comes all on itself, so it's one of those, you dump it in the truck, it's a full unit in itself.
Essentially, it's plug and play.
Yeah. So the idea is of that is so that we can also remove it if we wanted to during the winter. Again, same idea, sort of sitting out in the weather and, the skid unit in the back of the truck full of water, it's valuable in the middle of the winter. So kind of save on the use of that.
And you are, if we go get a new tanker, you're also gonna apply to the community fund for a grant, correct? But if we don't get rid of this 10,000, you can't apply either.
That's correct. Yeah, we're gonna utilize as much grant funding as we possibly can when it comes time for the tender project.
I might have spaced out a second. You said you'd be taking that unit out when the guys are taking it to trainings and stuff,
Potentially.
We have the capabilities to take it out.
but not necessarily.
Correct.
What's that weigh?
Fully loaded with the water and everything, it came out to about 900 and some pounds. But again, that's water weight, 70-gallon tank on it, all that stuff. So again, we've already talked about ways of being able to set up something that can pull it out, slide out, prop it out. So again, when you end up with 2-3 guys that gotta go to class, all their gear, everything that goes with them, yeah. So again, to sit out in the snow at class like that, that's hard on equipment.
With the double cab, is that the four-wheel or the four doors, the big back seat,
Yep.
bench seat in the front?
Yep.
So it's kind of a six-seater.
Potentially, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't like to have anybody sitting in the middle seat. We have basically we can put 3 in the Ford right now, but you get 3 guys in there and all their gear and everything, and it gets a little cumbersome, and we only prefer to have 2 in the front seat on bench seats like that for the ease of the driver.
Now with T, is that with the topper? Is that what
The
that means?
WT is with trailer tow.
With trailer
Total
tow?
package.
The tow
So that way, it's gonna be a little bit heavier duty of a truck to be able to tow our air trailer. Our current brush truck struggles a little bit towing that around, so it's a heavy duty package to be able to handle that. So again, less wear and tear on our existing brush unit. Again, save on the truck, it lasts longer, all that good stuff.
So that essentially have a class 4 hitch on it.
It's
So
a good
it's
truck.
class 3, so.
I've been looking at that.
Dave, you have any questions for them?
No,
Tim?
I think I've asked.
Imagine there's some free maintenance on it for a while, like oil changes and
Probably.
warranties and.
100,000 powertrain, probably want hours
I
on
was
it.
gonna say, my GMC warranty's pretty good.
I think they do that for the general public, not for the prices you get those for.
And they didn't do it on my GMC when I bought it down here. I got 2 free oil changes and that was it. So, yeah.
Carl, you have any questions?
Not really. I mean, outside, I guess, is they gotta make sure the need's there. I guess is kind of what my holdup is, I mean, or whatever. You know, do they really need it, or is it just, I don't know.
It's definitely more of a need than a want. I mean, we've gone this long with having just the one brush truck out there, and like we said, that one's a 98. So if that one goes down tomorrow, we're out of commission for brush trucks. So, I mean, it's kind of like having the 3 engines out here. You hope you never have to use them, but if you don't have them, you're gonna need them every day. If you got it sitting there, you're never gonna need it. So, but it's definitely more of a need than a want at this point, given the age of the one that we have out there.
Well, I guess I'm on board for getting it. If you need a motion, I'd make the motion to spend the 23,000 out of our fund balance to cover the new truck, the new grass rig, or whatever it's called.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? Let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
No opposed?
Thank you.
Because you got a new truck. You guys are on a roll, that's it.
Slow down, we're almost out of money.
I'm done. I'm done for now.
Selling.
How many miles is there on that old truck?
I would have to walk after and look. I honestly don't know.
100,000 or
Oh, no.
a little lot less?
Yeah, the problem with the apparatus in our industry is the same like with law enforcement. A lot of times they get more hours than they do miles. And that was a problem that we had with the Suburban, which essentially is why the motor went out in it and had to be replaced because it had more hours, which is harder on it than miles. So I guess it would be almost beneficial to put an hour meter on something like that just to see and compare it to the miles. But when you guys go to your closed session, I'll go out and check the mileage on it and report that back to you. No, it's a good question, I don't know.
It's not sold yet, right? This is the price you expect to get?
No, they've sold the other, they
Oh,
sold.
it is
They sold the
positively sold.
Suburban and,
We're keeping the other brush truck.
yeah.
Oh, you're keeping
The
that?
one I'm talking about, they keep,
We sold 2 other trucks.
they sold 2 other vehicles.
To help fund this one, yes. So,
I have a truck with an hour meter on it, and so I was wondering if the newer trucks were standard.
mine has one as well. My new truck does, but the 98 didn't have it.
Yeah, but I'm
Right.
saying this new one,
Yep, yep, my
You know.
16 has it, my 13 had
because
it.
you're probably, on a truck like that,
Yep.
you probably do oil changes and services on hours, almost like a piece of.
Corey, can you check on that and see if it's an option?
Yeah,
I
check the
think,
specs
like
here,
on my
yeah.
truck, I believe it was standard. On my GMC, it was standard, it's just
They just about.
part of the digital package,
I
yeah.
think they-
Because it helps them track the maintenance and everything, so. But like on our vehicles here, even if they don't hit the mileage, regardless annually, there's oil changes done on all of them. I mean, if they get a little bit higher, if we use them a lot, then it's 6 months, but typically it's automatically every year. So, because of the low mileage,
Yeah.
so that's just part of our maintenance program.
Okay, committee reports, I don't think there's anything. So we'll go to fire chief reports and updates.
It's a busy day for me.
All right.
Well, two things that I did not get in my report, if I can add them in here real quick, just verbally for you.
Sure report.
Our annual open house, I know there was talk that we were gonna do the pancake breakfast on October 14th during the Harvest Festival. Those plans had to be changed because we didn't want it to conflict with the FFA. They have theirs that same day, we found out about a week or so ago. They do it at the Weggy Center. We didn't wanna have a conflict and take away from theirs, so we were asked to cancel ours. Essentially, that's what we
Yeah,
did.
the airport board is having,
Theirs is
on Sunday.
this weekend.
No, it's gonna be during Bellsburg.
Right, this upcoming weekend.
Right, this Sunday.
We're talking October.
Okay.
Yeah, so October 14th was gonna be ours, but the FFA is having theirs, and that's their fundraiser for the year. So we talked about it, and a suggestion was made to our membership Saturday, and we all agreed, we're gonna do our annual open house that day. We're gonna have the station wide open from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for everybody to come and visit. We're gonna have our representatives here from Servpro and whoever that we get a hold of, like we do for our evening open house. But we're gonna move it to a Saturday where we can draw some more people in that way, because there's already gonna be people there. So I just wanted to throw that up, because that didn't make it to the report, to my report.
What day?
It's gonna be Saturday, October 14th,
Oh,
the same day as the Harvest Festival. We're gonna do our fire department, because it's Fire Prevention Month, and so we're gonna do our open house that day, so rather than the evening.
Without the pancake breakfast.
Correct, without the pancake breakfast, yes. We'll get together, we'll put our heads together again, I'll get with Liz, and it may end up turn out to be a pancake supper. You know, we'll have to see. I mean, a lot of people really enjoy those. Alto does well with theirs, so we're willing to try anything just to make it happen. But we do have Fallsburg Festival coming up this weekend, so we'll be out in the park Saturday and Sunday cooking, selling, and serving chickens.
A lot of smoke.
A lot of smoke. And it looks like the weather's gonna cooperate very nicely, so.
What about if you tie it into the holiday parade?
I thought about that, but I gotta check with Jessica, because I know they did something in the past on, when it was a daytime parade. But now that it's an evening parade, I don't think they do anything.
Well, they have the pancakes, or the 4-H, 4 to 6, just before the parade.
Yeah, they
Oh, do
they
they
would
do
make
it
it
in
supper.
So they made it into a supper?
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, because we thought about that as well, but we'll get it figured out. We'll do one. We don't want to miss out on it, so, I mean, that's one of the only two that we do every year, so we kind of like to stay with it, so. 68 calls last month. And it looks like I have, oh, that's a weird number on there, okay. The project at Tuck Point Repair is done, it's completed now. And I've got in there about canceling the pancake breakfast after we talked to Liz. All the physicals for BioCare have been done. We had a couple of people that weren't available to do them the day that we actually did them here, but they went to one of the neighboring departments the following week and got theirs taken care of. The hearing portion of it, we got through about 5 people in their trailer out here that day, and the hearing booth just crapped out on them. So they had to bring it back a few weeks later and put everybody through the hearing test again. Results are back on that, so we're doing good. We're ready and we're good for the year. So
So there were no deficiencies in any of the?
well, yeah, I mean, there's us, but no, we're looking good. We're doing good. Everybody made it through, so kept moving forward. The summer concert series are done, and that wrapped up, and the JV freshman football game started. So now we're doing that. Concert series, the guys were getting paid for $25 a night. The JV football games, they were doing it strictly on their own time voluntarily. So, but we're making sure those are covered. We talked in the past about the UTV. The last time we had talked, Platinum was saying, yeah, we were only gonna do it for 6 months, that was our plan. So I made some phone calls, and when I went up to Platinum to return it, my son went up there with me, and I was sitting there talking to the owner / general manager. And I said, yeah, I got a call into Alex over at Nelson's, and I'm supposed to be talking to him about getting it, because he does them for a year for Grattan. Well, by the time we were all said and done talking, and he went out and did the inspection before he took it back into their possession, he goes, as soon as the 2018s get here, he said, I'll get you a red one, you can have it for a year. So we're waiting on that at this point, so. They're gonna
Just don't scratch it?
I tell you what, we babied this thing.
No, but I mean,
Yeah. We totally took care of it. He says, how many hours are on this thing? I said, like less than 5. Once you guys use it, that's only for what it's intended for. I said, we're not taking out, beating out, doing anything. So he looked it all over, did his inspection, and said, I'll get you another one, and you can have this one for a year. So it worked out great for us, so.
it didn't really get much field use?
A little bit.
I mean, you used it for
We used it,
skirts or?
well, we used it to bring a patient out of the disc golf course out of Fallsburg.
That was extreme.
They actually transported the patient out of the woods to the ambulance, so, but an excessive amount, no, but it was great. It's another one of those things, it was great to have it when we needed it,
Mhm.
because it just made us as a department and as a community look like, man, we're on top of our game. You know, we can handle pretty much everything. So it was kind of nice to have that,
So you're without one now until you get.
we have
18.
the old mule out there still that we can utilize, but like Tony said, as soon as he gets the 18s in, he'll get us a red one, we can come and pick it up.
Do you have any idea when that is?
I thought he was gonna reach out to me last week, but with the holiday and everything in there, probably not so much.
Okay.
So I'm if I haven't heard from him by the end of this week, then next week I'll reach out to him and see where we stand. So. We've talked about this before. We've got a gentleman down here doing community service. He painted our chicken coop and everything for us. He did some weeding out front for us. Trying to keep up on that to keep it looking nice like Terra Verde made it. So we're trying to make sure it stays that way. With the holidays just around the corner, we talked about it again, and we're gonna stick with adopting 2 families again this year. We're not gonna expand, we're gonna hold it right at 2 just to make sure that things are gonna work out for us and for them. We don't wanna overstretch ourselves or our budget with that, so. Talked about the chicken barbecue, and we're still slowly getting through things around here with the punch list, little things here and there. Things are going good.
Fireman count right now?
We are still holding 22 or 23 since Jim left. I think 22.
22, and how many interns?
Well, we've got two probationary members that are in their early portions of the probationary. And then the third one, Zach, he is now enrolled in the EMT class. So he's doing the medical portion right now, so.
So if everything moves ahead, you'll have 25, a head count of 25.
No, we count those as part of our membership.
Oh, do you?
Because they made it past the intern. 23 on the roster right now.
Okay.
So, yeah, once they make it past the intern portion of it, then they're considered on the roster. Because then they start getting marked down for their trainings and their call responses and things.
Now, is that still a concern?
Not at this point. We're doing very well. A good example would be last Wednesday evening, Tony's dropped at 5:22 and we had a structure fire well involved. I mean, well involved, pretty much on the ground when we got there. But we had plenty of people from here, and our mutual aid department showed up with plenty of people, so.
Was that the one where I called you and you put me off just because you were at a fire?
That might be the one. Was that last Wednesday you did that, Cleve? It very possibly could be.
I think.
But, yeah, see, even the township supervisor gets pushed off when we roll off. Sorry, can't talk.
Yeah, they didn't get a call too fast. We saw smoke a long time before the calls went in.
Well, apparently what happened was the folks left their home, and within 20-25 minutes of them leaving the home, we got notified of the fire, so. But it was a 114-year-old farmhouse, so there's a lot of factors like that could play into it with the balloon construction and everything else, but we contacted the necessary investigators and let them follow up on things, so that way we don't pass judgment or jump to conclusions or anything like that, so we turned it over to them and let them do their investigations on it. And I have not heard anything back from anybody yet, so.
Okay. All right, any member comments? Anybody on their phone, can they look at the next month meeting date?
It should be October 9th, I think.
Yes.
All right, then we'll set up the next meeting for October the 9th. And I have a motion to adjourn the open meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, then we will now go into closed session. I can